We have two big news stories today. One of them is pretty simple and straightforward. Kaulig Racing's looking to add, or they will add a NASCAR Cup Series team next year, at least one car. We'll talk about that later. I want to knock this out of the way first because it hurts my brain to look and talk about, not because I don't like it, but because I'm straight up, I don't know what is going on with this. NASCAR and Texas Motor Speedway announced the All-Star format today, and I genuinely am more confused about this than I am in Spanish class, which is saying something because I don't know what's going on 90% of the time in my Spanish class. Anyways, I really don't want to read this whole thing because it's really long, really confusing. The word invert is used about every 6 words. There's rounds, there's draws like in the middle of the race, like random draws like out of a hat, out of a bucket. I watched the broadcast on FS1. They were like, we're going to do the announcement on here with Eddie Gossage, the president of Texas Motor Speedway. I was like, I'm really looking forward to it. That's my home track. I love that track. I grew up going there. Sure, when they messed up turns 1 and 2, it made the racing really bad, but I still have a sentimental connection to that track. And they announced the All-Star race, and I was like, this is the first time I might be able to go to an All-Star event in any sport, and I was really looking forward to it. And now I'm just really confused and don't know anything anymore. I don't know who's... I don't know. Like, I'm going to read some of it, and I'm probably going to stop because it's going to give me a headache. I've already got a headache from just... I listened to Eddie Gossage explain it, and then I thought, okay, maybe if I read it, it'll help it. But reading it makes it so much worse. I'm not even going to put the text up here because it makes it so much worse. So let's just try to get through some of this. The race will feature 6 rounds totaling 100 laps. I understood that part. 6 rounds, 100 laps. Okay. Starting lineup for round 1 will be determined via random draw. I got that part. Rounds 1 through 4 will be 15 laps each. Round 5 will be 30 laps. The final round will be a 10-lap shootout. Understood that. At the beginning of round 2, the field will be inverted via random draw, minimum of 8, maximum of 12. Live on FS1. This is where it gets confusing. What does minimum of 8, maximum of 12 mean? Like, if 10 of the cars die, then there has to be a maximum of 12 cars on the track and a minimum of 8. I don't know what that means. The round 2 random draw will also be seen live by fans attending the race, that's me, on Big Hoss TV. Okay. Before the start of round 3, the entire field will be inverted. Okay, I'm guessing the finishes of round 2 will be backwards for round 3. At the beginning of round 4, the field will be inverted via random draw, and then it's that same minimum of 8, maximum of 12. I'm really confused. What does minimum of 8, maximum of 12 mean? Someone explain to me. If you know in the comments what that means, God bless you. You're going to save me a ton of stress and confusion and probably tears, let's be honest. If I don't know what's going on, I'm going to start crying at some point from the confusion. Starting positions for round 5 will consist of the cumulative finishes from rounds 1 through 4. The lowest cumulative finisher starts on pole, second lowest starts second, and so forth. All cars must enter pit road for a mandatory 4-tire pit stop during round 5. I guess we're going to go to the end of this. The starting positions in the final round are set by the finishing positions of round 5. Only green flag laps will count in the NASCAR All-Star race. I understood that part. The fastest team on pit road during the mandatory pit stop will earn $100,000. That's actually cool. I actually like that. That's pretty cool because I feel like these pit crews don't get recognized enough. So that's really cool that they're going to get rewarded for that literal money stop. The race winner will get $1 million as always. Yeah, so if you understood that, can you please go to the comments right now, and I want you to put it in the easiest terms possible. I want you to explain to me in like first grader terms what I just read. It's on Twitter, it's probably on Facebook and Instagram. I don't have those, but it's probably out there somewhere. NASCAR probably wrote an article about it. The point being, what did I just read? Minimum of 8, maximum of 12. I don't even know what that means. I don't know who has 8, who has 12, who is 8, who is 12. Does that mean Tyler Reddick and Ryan Blaney have an advantage? And then this little paragraph about starting positions for round 5 will consist of the cumulative finishes. But then it says all cars must stop for a mandatory 4-tire pit stop during round 5. So is it like green flag pit stops, or do they stop like under caution? Like the lowest starts on the pole, and then the final stage, the final round, are based off the finishing position. So like the worst average finisher in the All-Star race rounds 1 through 4 are going to start up front for round 5. And so basically that last round is going to be the slowest cars at the front, the fastest cars at the back, and then we're going to get some type of intermixture after that 30-lap run with pit stops somewhere in there. And then the final stage is going to be like whoever finishes best. So let's say, who could win the All-Star? So if Timmy Hill wins the All-Star Open, and he is the slowest car during the whole All-Star race, but that means he gets to start up front for stage 5, round 5, and he wins round 5 just because the aero package. Does that mean Timmy Hill gets to start up front for the final round of the All-Star race and potentially win the All-Star race? If so, I love this idea. I love that they're trying something new. I will say that. I know, like the All-Star race, this is when you're going to do something stupid. Do something weird. Throw a new engine package. Throw a new aero package. Throw a new format at it. But why did they have to add math in there? And why did they have to add literally like a 400-word, 500-word essay about what the heck is going on? Yeah. I love that they're trying something new, but could they be a little less confusing? Like, I get that I'm supposed to, like, my whole purpose of doing this YouTube channel is to inform you guys of the NASCAR news that's going on. Straight up, I don't know what's going on here. I usually give my opinions on stuff. I don't know enough to have an opinion on this one. I think the pit crew thing is amazing. I think giving the money to the pit crew, whoever has the fastest pit stop, I think that's an amazing idea. The pit crews don't deserve, or they don't get enough recognition. And I think paying them $100,000 for the fastest stop in that round, whatever round it is, that's a great idea. Obviously the $1 million, that's normal. I thought they were going to bump it up maybe like 1.5 million or something, but no. And then I like that they're doing some inverting. I just don't know when the inverting's happen. And then they threw some more words in there like the 8 and 12. That confused me even more. And then they added the math, which confuses me a lot. Like the average finish. And I don't know if those stops during round 5 are going to be green flag stops. So if someone knows fully what's going on, you get like 20 bonus points in my book, but I'm extremely confused. My brain hurts enough from school and stuff, and now it hurts from NASCAR. I really don't know what this format is. I don't know, like, I don't know what life is. I don't know what food is. I don't know what 1 + 1 is at this point. Like, is it 7? Is it an apple? Is it the square root of a toothbrush? I don't know, but my brain, like, it physically hurts my head to think about this too much. Like, it's like when you, I don't even know. Look what it's done to me. I don't know anything anymore. I'm probably going to pick like Quinn Houff to win at Kansas now. No. I'll probably pick like David Rudiman. He's not even in the field. That's probably how far my brain's going to get fried. Anyways, I love the All-Star race being at Texas because I'm from Texas and that's a sentimental favorite. In terms of the racing, oof, because, you know, the package is pretty meh, and then 1 and 2 have been completely screwed. I like they're doing something different. I like the pit crew thing, but I wish they didn't make such a confusing format. Oh, and then somewhere in this is the engine package in, hold on. Let me get to it because I think that's confusing too. Hey, but on the bright side, okay, I did just see this. The All-Star Open is simple. I can explain this and give you my opinion on this. It's 20 laps, and 10 laps, so it's 3 segments of 20, 20, 10. So each stage winner gets into the All-Star race, and then the fan vote. I can tell you about that. We're going to see guys, like, assuming they don't win between now and then, Matt DiBenedetto, Bubba Wallace, Tyler Reddick. Oh, who else is going to be in there? We're going to see some of those guys. Some guys who are pretty good, but, you know, they haven't won a race in the past year. They haven't won the All-Star race before, so they have to race their way in to the NASCAR All-Star race. So that's going to be fun to watch. Just a quick 50-lap shootout to see who, or a 20-lap shootout, a 20-lap shootout, a 10-lap shootout to see who can make the NASCAR All-Star race. That might be the most fun thing about this whole thing, but it's at least the least confusing. I mean, look at me. I'm happy again because I know what's going on there. But, yeah, as for the engine, according to Bob Bockrus, the only technical change for the All-Star race is that they will use the 510 horsepower taper spacer with holes 57/64 of an inch used for Talladega and Daytona instead of the 550 horsepower spacer. So is it going to be like the 2018 All-Star race where it was basically like Daytona and Talladega but at Charlotte? Now it's just going to be at Texas? If so, oh boy, there's going to be some crashes. There are going to be some stupid highlights. And this race might actually just be really stupid, to be honest. But I wish they did like the opposite. I wish they gave it as much horsepower as they could and just like let them all go 205 miles an hour into turn 1 or something. But you be you, NASCAR. I don't know why they keep taking horsepower away. And then I could have sworn I heard on the broadcast they said something about this being like a sneak preview into the next gen car. I hope that's wrong. I hope my brain was fried and I misheard that. If that's true, I might like genuinely start crying right now. Obviously I wouldn't know right now, but anyways, that was 12 minutes of me being confused and like almost crying on camera because I was so confused. It's not like a sad tears, it's not tears of joy, it's genuinely, I'm so confused it hurts my brain. The only thing I know what to do is cry. Anyways, let's go to Kaulig Racing. Yeah, Kaulig Racing, we know them in the Xfinity Series. They are a really good team in the Xfinity Series. They were a two-car team last year, full-time, and then they added a third full-time team this year. That was the part-time team last year. But, yeah, they've had 3 full Xfinity cars this year driven by A.J. Allmendinger, Jeb Burton, and Justin Haley. And so, yeah, they've had a lot of success in their few years in the Xfinity Series. They made it to the Championship 4 last year with Justin Haley. They've got some wins with Justin Haley, some wins with A.J. Allmendinger. So, and then obviously just this past Saturday, they won with Jeb Burton. So they know how to get to victory lane in the Xfinity Series. And the team owner, team president, Matt Kaulig and Chris Rice decided, all right, let's do it. Let's do a full-time Cup team. They've done some part-time Cup this year. Kaz Grala actually finished 6th at Talladega this past Sunday and ran in the Daytona 500. But they're planning on doing 10 to 11 races for the remainder of this year, I think. But yeah, they're going to do some more Cup racing this year, and then they're going to do full-time Cup racing next year. As for who the driver is, this is actually a fun discussion. I've actually seen a lot of mixed answers between the 3 that I'm thinking about. Justin Haley, who's been with them for quite a while, and he's won with them quite a bit, had a lot of success with them. There's Kaz Grala. He's a newer guy, and he's had success with them. He hasn't had the wins that Haley's had. He hasn't had the experience that Haley's had. But when he is in the Cup car, he has done well. He's got a top 10 at Talladega. It was almost in the top 5. And then you've obviously got A.J. Allmendinger. A.J. Allmendinger is a NASCAR Cup winner just like Justin Haley. And A.J. Allmendinger finished top 10 in the Daytona Road Course earlier this year, I believe. With Kaulig, he also he's done really well in the Xfinity Series with Kaulig. Last year, he got a couple wins. This year, I believe he has a win. If not, he will get a win this year. But yeah, so I'd say those are the 3 options. A.J. Allmendinger is a bit older, but if you're looking for a young option, if you're looking for a younger driver who you can build around, I'd say Grala and Justin Haley are your 2 options. And yeah, that's a tough choice because Kaz Grala, obviously quick success in the Cup Series. In his first career start, got a top 10 at the Daytona Road Course subbing for Austin Dillon. Then he got a top 10 at Talladega this past Sunday. But then you look at Justin Haley and what he's done in the Xfinity Series. He's won races. He's been able to make it to the championship race, and he is a Cup winner. It may have been in a rained out crash fest at Daytona, but he is still a Cup winner. Kaz Grala doesn't have as much experience. He doesn't have as much success as Haley, so if I were Kaulig, I would definitely be leaning towards Haley, but Grala would still be a pretty decent option to build around. But I would say if I was Kaulig, I would move up Allmendinger or Haley to you, because they said at least one car for now. I'm thinking they do one car, so I'm saying you move up Allmendinger or Haley to Cup, and then you put Kaz Grala in their Xfinity car for a year or two to see how he does in that. That's just my opinion, but I think it'll be Justin Haley unless Allmendinger makes a push to go to Cup, and they'll say yeah because he has Cup experience and stuff. But yeah, that second half of the video, I guess last 5 minutes of the video was really fun to talk about with the Kaulig thing. I think that's an exciting thing. New cars, new teams in Cup. I don't know how they're going to get the charter, but yeah. As for the first 10 to 12 minutes of this video, I don't even want to think about it again. So thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share. If you're just as confused as I am, I'm sorry. I really don't know how to explain this all-star format other than what's going on with everything. And then as I don't know. If you do know what's going on, please tell me in the comments what's going on, because I would like to know.